We covered the first two steps, and now we just practice the first half of coaching. The second half of coaching is a lot like what we just did in the last minute of every one of those segments. What we're trying to do is problem solving. It's cooperative problem solving is the objective here. We're trying to figure out what is it that they want to be coached on. We've assessed that. We've come to a problem statement. Now we're going to do some root cause analysis and figure out together what caused the problem. Because when you understand the cause, guess what you can do? You can come up with actions to change behavior to get a different outcome. So when we talk about the actual coaching process, we're going to co-create and execute a development plan. That's where we're trying to get to. It's all about the employee's growth. So you're trying to find the root cause so that you can come up with actions that will allow you to improve. Make sense? We talked about all the different types of questions that you can ask. We need to gain agreement with the employee. Not just that they want to be coached now, but that they agree that the problem is the problem and that the root cause is the root cause. You want to get them, as much as possible, get them to articulate what the problem is, get them to articulate what the root cause is, get them to come up with the solution. How do we do that? By asking good questions. Right? So we talked about this, gaining agreement on the goal, ask for understanding and confirmation. So what do you understand our goal for coaching to be? Ask that question. If they can't articulate it, guess what? They don't understand it. So until you get agreement, trying to move forward is kind of silly because they're not with you yet. If alignment is off, we're going to have a conversation about making sure it's not off. And then we move deeper into the coaching process, and remember the power of relationships. Don't coach a stranger, you coach somebody that trusts you. You got to make sure you get the difference there, because if you're coaching a stranger or somebody that doesn't trust you, they're far less likely to listen, they're far less likely to accept, they're far less likely to act. Your behavior sets the standard through the entire coaching process. We want to be thinking about being present. So in other words, physically present, emotionally present, intellectually present, and then listen attentively. If you've got other things bugging you, create a space that you can actually be present. What I mean is get your cell phone out of your sight, turn your computer off or close it down. Close your door, put a do not disturb sign on. Whatever you got to do to be physically present and intellectually and emotionally present, you got to do that. If you're not present, you're not coaching. It's really key. And the one thing I want to say, listen for the next question. That makes no sense at all on the surface, but if you've been paying attention to me throughout our time together, it makes all the sense in the world. Because the truth is, when you're deeply listening to someone, the next question will come to your mind. It's when you're panicking and anxious and worried about what you're going to say next that you'll lose your place, stop listening, and won't know what to say. So just listen. Listen attentively. Practice being curious. Ask the next question, and you'll find that coaching gets a lot easier. We're collaborating here. I've told you multiple times you don't need to be the expert, and I meant it. You don't have to be the source of all of their solutions. Learn to ask good questions. If they can't find the solution, if they're just clueless, fine. Give them the first answer. Get them on the path to resourcefulness. But ultimately, if you're providing them solutions, you're robbing them of the opportunity to learn and grow. So you've got to learn how to ask questions that guide them toward finding their own solutions. So how would you solve this? I don't know. Well, what resources do you have? I don't know. And give them one. If they say I don't know too many times, they're not going to find their own solution. The next time they come to you, so how are we going to solve this one? I don't know. Well, you said that last time, and what did we do? Well, you gave me an answer, right? And I also told you I'm not going to give you an answer again. So what can we do differently this time? It's all about moving them a little bit at a time, because every time you get them thinking just a little bit, you remember we were talking about this morning, they're going to come here expecting to do this, and you're going to teach them to do this. This is not easy, and most people will resist. They're going to resist thinking and getting deliberate about finding their own solutions. You got to gently move them over there by asking good questions. We're integrating feedback into the process as well, giving them positive reinforcement of what they're doing that is working, and maybe some gentle corrections of what's not. We're also doing action planning. This is really the key. Where I was trying to get you to end that first little session was, what action are they going to take away that they're going to improve upon? I mean, what's one thing they can do? It might not be the solution to the problem. It might be just gathering data to understand the problem, but you're always leaving action plans that are co-developed. Not you saying, do this. Now, what can we do to understand this? Okay? Those activities are always going to be in line with the goal of coaching. The follow-up step, the last step in the process, and the thing you need to understand, active coaching and follow-up are done collaboratively. You're following up every subsequent coaching session, and you keep cycling through active coaching and follow-up, active coaching and follow-up, and so forth, until the person either achieves the goal that you set out to do, or it's clear that the goal was wrong and you change the goal and you coach some more toward a new goal. The objective of follow-up is to make sure they achieve the outcome, period. So you're monitoring progress, providing feedback, making course corrections as you go. That's really the whole idea of follow-up. Yeah, I already covered that slide. Some final thoughts. This model that I've shared, this 4-step model, is a model. That's it. Is it right? Wrong question. Will it work? Yes. It's not perfect. There is no perfect model. We're dealing with human beings, and not everybody behaves the same way, which is why getting to know people and developing trust is so critical for your success. I want you to get that coaching is not about showing the employee how smart you are. It's not about that. It's not about your ego. It's not like, oh, look how smart I am. Don't do that. It's about their success, because their success is ultimately yours. And if you can get in that mindset, you all win. Okay. Growth and improvement is the goal. Employee momentum is the key. I want you to get something. If an employee sets a goal that they want to get 20% better at something within 3 months, and they get 18% better in 3 months in a day, is that a failure? If you think it is, you're fooling yourself. It's actually huge progress and should be celebrated as such. So you missed it by a day. So what? So you missed it by 2%. So what? They just got 18% better, and they're not going back to the previous state. That's what you got to celebrate. Progress and momentum are keys. All right. That is what coaching is about. And I know we've kind of run out of time. We've only got time for one last exercise, which we're going to do now. This is a journey, guys. You don't get good at coaching by taking one class. You get good at coaching by taking a class, getting exposed to a good model, getting some resources that fit your learning style, learning some more, practicing some more, come back to another class maybe, whatever it takes. This is one of the most powerful toolkits you can ever develop in your career, because it will drive performance for you. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to put you into groups, and I'm going to have you do a presentation. And in this presentation, you will be sharing how to coach to someone that doesn't know how. So basically, what did you learn? I want you to teach coaching to someone that doesn't know. So I'm going to create the groups in a very specific way, because there's actually another assignment I want to do with the people that are continuing on. So you're going to be in group one.